Hey, this is Scott Ford from MrFordsClass.net. I'm sitting here with my ridiculously oversized coffee mug and my geek shirt because today's Monday mailbag is about what kind of computer you should bring to college with you, so stay tuned. Alright, one of the things that I'm usually asked before colleges begin, especially when I was teaching computer certification, computer repair back at the high school level, don't forget, for those of you who know me, or for those of you who don't know me, I do have an A+ certification. I used to teach computer maintenance. A+ is computer certification. You can fix computers. Any of your repair people should have at least an A+ certification. Net+, Microsoft certifications, networking classes, yada, 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 yada. I used to teach computers to FBI and the DEA. So I come from a background in IT, plus as, you know, I got a geek shirt. I mean, how many people run around with a geek shirt? So the point of today's video is what kind of computer should you bring to college with you? This is a good video to share, especially if you're going to be going to college. Make sure your parents see this, and if you're a parent, this will help you. This is not a sales pitch, so you go to the local big box store and go spend a lot of money on computers. This actually probably save you some money. So first, let's talk about what kind of computer you should send or you should bring to college with you. First of all, not bringing a computer is not even an option. You have to bring technology with you. In my anatomy and physiology class that I teach, I require students to have technology. I mean, how my videos are online, for God's sakes, obviously I want students to have technology. So they need technology. They need computers. It's not an option anymore. You need to bring them. Now, you might be sitting there and your child might be looking at you going, see, he says computers. And you might be saying, don't they have computer labs? Don't use the computer labs on college campuses. They've gotten better. But when I was on college campuses, these things are filled with viruses, keyloggers, all sorts of nasty things that can make you have a very bad day. And don't worry what keyloggers are. They basically track what you're typing. Whole different type of video, whole different type of training there. So you want to send the child or the student, and you yourself want to go to college with some sort of technology. The question now that we have is, you want to bring a tablet, like an iPad or a tablet, a laptop or a desktop? I would say that's the first big question. The answer to that one is, if you can only pick one, let's say you can only pick one, go with a laptop. And the reason why I'm saying go with a laptop is because it's portable. So you can bring it to class, you can bring it to the coffee shop, you can bring it to the library, you can work out of the dorm room or your apartment with a laptop. Desktops are cool. Desktops are typically more powerful than a laptop. Again, these are generalities, so if you're a geek out there, don't start sending me hate mail. This is all in general, by and by, at large, with exceptions. You want to get a laptop because a laptop's going to offer you the most flexibility in where you can use it. If you have a desktop, yes, you can have a desktop. They usually run a little cheaper depending on how you buy the desktop versus a laptop, but you're stuck in one place with it. So you can't bring it to class and take notes. You can't bring it to the library and work on it. So I would again suggest, if nothing else, have a laptop. A tablet is good as a secondary device. And what I mean by secondary device, you know, I've got my tablet here, I got my iPad here. The reason why I'm saying as a secondary device is because there is stuff you can't do with a tablet, or it doesn't do it very well. They've been getting better. In fact, I'm looking at the new Microsoft Surface computers, and they look like they have more of the usability that I'm talking about here. But typing on one of these things is a bit of a pain. You'll have to buy a separate keyboard because you don't want to be touching buttons all the time trying to type down notes. But I would recommend, if you can only have one piece of technology, go with a laptop over a desktop or a tablet. A tablet is a very great secondary piece of equipment to get. So if you already have a desktop, okay, let's say you already have a desktop at home, you don't need to go and trash that and buy a laptop. I would suggest, if you have a desktop, then go and also get a tablet of some type, whether it's an iPad or a Surface or some other tablet, say an Android device. You're going to want to bring something to class with you. You're going to want that extra device. Now the next question is Mac or PC. Okay. Now, again, if you're watching this and you're going, what about Linux and Unix? Well, you know what? You don't need this video. You're obviously an uber geek, so good for you. Awesome. But for the rest of us, do you go with a Mac or a PC? Now, I have been a PC user for most of my life. Ever since I've got a computer, I mean, I started Windows 3 and DOS, went to Windows 95, went to 98, skipped ME, XP, and the whichever the last version, I think Windows 7, Windows 8, whatever. So I've been a PC person. Then I've got a Mac, and I've played with Macs before, and I finally jumped into the fanboyism of the Mac world. I drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm working on an iMac right now. I love iMacs. I love the Macs. I would suggest that if you have a student or you yourself are not a big computer person, go with a Mac. And now I know some of you are going to be sending me hate mail over that because there's religious wars fought over PC or Mac. But in general, if you are a person who wants the computer to work and you don't want to mess with defrags or check disks or virus checks, Macs can get viruses, but if you don't want to mess with that, go with a Mac. A Mac is going to be the least, I think, cost of ownership over the long haul than a PC. If you have somebody who's got PC skills, PCs generally run cheaper because you can get a Dell, you can get a Gateway, I think they're owned by some company now, you can go HP, you can go Asus, you can go all sorts of different companies, and there's a lot more price variations as far as what you can get. A Mac is only made by Mac. So, again, for the novice user who just wants it to work, I would go with a Mac. Here's another good suggestion for you. You're a student. Don't pay full price. There's a lot of discounts out there. In fact, some colleges, a lot of universities actually, have their own computer stores, which offer substantial discounts, at least on the software. Markups on computers aren't a lot, and so there's not a lot of savings there. But software, huge markups, and so you can get some great deals. When I was back at A&M, boom, for grad school, I was able to get a full copy of Microsoft Office for $10. I mean, the whole thing for $10, so definitely worth it. Also, be aware that some of the big box stores offer student prices. I'm, again, recording on an iMac, and I'm a lifelong student, and I'm also a teacher. I asked the computer salesperson at Best Buy, is there a discount on this? And they were like, what? I'm like, student discount, teacher discount? Is there educator discount on the iMac, on the Apple products? I believe there is. He went to check with the manager, and sure enough, there was like a $200 off the iMac. You wouldn't know unless you asked. So once again, in case you're sleeping through this, students and educators get discounts galore. Be sure to ask. Even Best Buy has a student discount on some of the equipment. You will not get it unless you ask. And sometimes the person selling it may or may not know. It may need to go to a manager. Summing up so far, and I have one more thing I want to talk about, and that's antivirus. 1, laptop at the minimum is what the student should go with. If they don't have a laptop, but you're sending with a desktop, go with desktop and a tablet of some type. The tablet will give them some mobility, portability with their devices. 2, Mac or PC. If you have a novice person out there who doesn't know what defrag or antivirus is, my suggestion is go with a Mac. And I'm saying this as somebody who's worked on PCs a lot. I used to work on a help bench and all that fun stuff. So I would go with a Mac for the average user. It's just easier to use. Also, software discounts. Discounts on computers. They're out there. They're out there a lot. Dell, you can order directly from Dell. Student discount. Apple Store, student discount. Both online and in person. Best Buy has student discounts on some of their stuff. You have to ask. And now finally, let's talk about antivirus. I have worked on many of my former students' computers, much to their chagrin. It's like, what's in this web history? Anyways, but antivirus. There's nothing that can kill a computer faster than picking up a virus. Now, computers have gotten a lot better over the years as far as protecting against this, but let me tell you right now, no good computer person pays for their antivirus. Okay, get hate mail on that one. There are 3 separate programs I would recommend, and you don't want to run all 3. Okay, typically antiviruses don't play well together, and so you pick one and you stay with it. The first one that I was a fanboy of for many, many years is called AVG. A Alpha, V as in vegetable, and G as in go get it. AVG. They have a free version. Now, again, it's been about a year since I've used any of this because I've been on the Mac. So I do have an antivirus on my Mac. It's free. I guess I can tell you what that is in a little bit. But you have the AVG antivirus, which is free. It is a free download. It updates. It's pretty decent. It's pretty good. It has let me down once, but for the most part, it does a pretty good job. Another one is Avast, like Avast ye hearties, A-V-A-S-T, and I'll put the links on all of this in the description and the video below. Avast has a free antivirus software program. Avast, in my opinion, at least it used to be more in your face. It used to be much more, boom, there it is. And the last one, which I dragged my feet getting, I have a love-hate relationship with Microsoft and Windows in general. The Windows Essential Security is free, and wow. Again, not to get all geeky on you, but my experience with Microsoft is when they overtake another industry, they typically produce a pretty crappy product. But the Essential Security I have running on our PCs at the house. It is phenomenal. It is not in your face. It is software for people that don't want to fight with the antivirus. It checks for spyware and it checks for antivirus. So those are some pretty good ones. Another good one is ClamWin. I believe that's what it was spelled, and I've used that before. ClamWin, as in a clam, you know, from the water. ClamWin.com. ClamWin is pretty good. I've also run that. In fact, that's also great to put on a USB drive and run from there. And let me see if I can find the antivirus for the Mac. Hold on one second. All right, I found out what the name. I don't use it very often, so I kind of forgot what it was. It's Clam XAV. I'm not sure how that's said from them, but it's Clam, C-L-A-M XAV. It's a free antivirus software. It's run on the Mac. Now keep in mind, Macs can get viruses. Macs do get viruses. The difference is a PC has about 100,000-ish new viruses a week. Now these are not brand new viruses. They're variations of existing viruses. So you need to make sure your antivirus is up to date when you're running a PC. The Mac gets a virus like once a month, if that. So, and again, no hate mail. But you see the difference between a PC and a Mac. Macs, again, can get viruses. They do have security flaws. Those exist. Macs are not perfect, okay? I don't have a tattoo of an apple, okay? But they are, in general, lower cost of ownership, easier to use. They are more expensive typically at the store, but you don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff you have to worry about PCs with as much. But being stupid online will get you in trouble every time, regardless of whatever computer on. So there it is, your quick advice on what kind of computers, technology you should bring with school to you, or bring to school with you. My name again is Scott Ford from MrFordsClass.net. We do these Monday mailbags every Monday-ish. So if you have any questions, be sure to send me an email at mrford@mrfordsclass.com. And of course, visit our site, mrfordsclass.net. I know a .com and a .net. You can see the links in the bottom. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook and our YouTube page. Until next week, have a great one out there. Enjoy the rest of your summer vacation, and we'll see you later.